Are you tired of weight loss products filled with artificial ingredients and empty promises? Discover the power of nature with Pure Revive, the ultimate solution for healthy weight loss. Check out the link in the video description now to start your journey with Pure Revive.
Migrants are relocating to Utah in their thousands amid hopes that the deeply religious state will welcome them. Carmen Celine and Cleodis Alvarado had crossed into the U.S. over the Texas border after traveling from Venezuela alongside their two sons. After being put on a bus chartered by the state of Texas to take them to Denver, the couple expected that Alvarado would find a job and they could start their new life. After their hotel stay, paid for by the city of Denver, ran out, the family ended up on another bus to Salt Lake City, the couple told the New York Times. They hoped the city would be a welcoming destination for them due to job opportunities and the influence of Mormons in the city and state. Despite their hopes, Alvarado has struggled to pick up full-time work, and with more migrants making their way to the state, it could get tougher for the family. From outside a motel room in Midvale, just outside of Salt Lake City, Celine told the outlet, "We have enough money to feed ourselves, but not to pay rent." As Democratic-run cities that initially welcomed migrants are starting to run dry of assistance to help those migrants have been making their way to Utah. Officials in the state told the outlet that the number of new cases filed in immigration court indicated a sharp rise in the migrant population. The number had already climbed from 2,676 to over 21,000 from 2021 to 2023, with 19,000 cases already filed in the first 7 months of 2024. Governor Spencer Cox had championed immigrants making contributions in his state and previously called for state to be allowed to sponsor workers from abroad. The Republican has since called a tougher line on immigration and acknowledged the state has been struggling with it. He pointed to the work being done by local charities and faith-based groups to help those. Wendy Garvin, director of homeless charity Unsheltered Utah, told The Times, "We're scrambling because we don't have extra funding to put toward this new population." Bright orange flyers issued by the state have since been handed out to those crossing the border telling them to stay away from the state. The advisory warns migrants, "There is no room in shelters. No hotels for you. Housing is hard to find and expensive. Food banks are at capacity." Despite this, people and families continue to arrive into the area from already overwhelmed cities like New York and Denver. KUTV reported earlier this week that the city of Denver has been paying for thousands of migrants to travel to Utah. The report prompted a response from State Governor Cox, who said, "We recently learned that the Democrat mayor of Denver has been sending illegal immigrants to Utah without proper notification or approval. This is completely unacceptable and follows on the failed catch-and-release policy of the Biden administration. Every state has received illegal immigrants and Utah's resources are completely depleted." President Joe Biden plans to announce a policy that will protect hundreds of thousands of spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation. All 50 states, including Utah, are now border states due to the failed immigration policies of President Biden and Congress. Once again, we call on the Biden administration and Congress to solve this crisis. In March of this year, Denver started warning migrant families to move on to other cities and warned them of a lack of resources in Colorado for them. In February of this year, a family of 9 was flown to Utah from New York City after crossing the border late last year. The family, which includes 4 children, was helped into a motel room by Unsheltered Utah. Eduardo Marchena told Fox News, "I'm thinking it's for the children. For the children. Because I want them to have a better future here." It comes after President Biden announced a policy that would lift the threat of deportation for hundreds of thousands of migrants who are married to citizens. The policy will allow roughly 490,000 spouses of U.S. citizens an opportunity to apply for a parole-in-place program, which would shield them from deportations and offer them work permits if they have lived in the country for at least 10 years, according to 2 of the people briefed.